न मे स्यान्निरयान् मोक्षो
Nameshan Lilyan Moksho
यापि वर्षायुतायुतैः
Napi Varsha Yute Yute. Right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Whenever there is a war, there is certainly a massacre of many innocent living beings, such as boys, brahmanas, and women, whose killing is considered to be greatest of sins. They are all innocent creatures, and in all circumstances, killing of them is forbidden in the scriptures. Maharaj Yudhishthir was aware of these mass killings. Similarly, there were friends, parents, preceptors, and also on the both side, and all of them were killed. It was simply horrible for him to think of such killing. Therefore, he was thinking of residing in hell for millions and billions of years. All right, I'll stop sharing. And if you want to come on video, it'll be nice so that we can see each other and speak. But again, I'll let you everybody decide. All right. So there's a parallel here, or I'll take two personalities and see how these two personalities do or act in a similar situation. So there's a war setup is a Mahabharata war is about to happen, and Yudhishthira Maharaj says so many people died, and he's lamenting, and he's like, I did the sin, and his heart is crying. He's in a lot of pain. Anybody remember who other person said a lot of people die? He was only aware, also aware, but his response was totally different. Of course, Arjuna was there, like he see that I'll kill so many people, so a lot of people died, and he was withdrawing from the war. So he was also in the same direction as Yudhishthira Maharaj. Like he has a pain before the fact, and Yudhishthira Maharaj has a pain after the fact. But one personality is totally different. So if we remember, if we recall Bhagavad Gita, ninth verse, our dear friend Yudhishthira says, there are many other heroes who are prepared to lay their lives for my sake. All of them were well equipped with different kind of weapons, and all of their experience in military science. So he already concluded that these people will die for my sake, and he has no remorse, guilt, or anything. He says, yeah, they will die, I will win. While Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj, after the fact, under the fact, their heart is crying. That so many people will be killed or are killed. So why these two different behavior from two different personalities? So both, or I will go to the backstory of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Duryodhan little bit. So Duryodhan pick up on the projections of his father Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra want to be king no matter what, and he was in pain, and Duryodhan was also in pain, like their acute pain that I cannot be king. I want to be king. I am born blind. What is my fault in it? But I want to be king, and he has so extreme desire that he projected his desire before his son was even born to his son. Okay, if I cannot be son, I cannot be king. Let my son be the king. So I mean, it's not that there was a lot of pain in his heart for sure. And we also do, or sometimes some people do. We see that, oh, if I cannot become doctor, I beat my child left right so that he became doctor. So it's called like psychological projection. I cannot achieve, I'll achieve through somebody. And even if my son is not interested in becoming doctor, but since I have an unfulfilled desire of being doctor, I want him to be doctor. At least I cannot do, he will do. So Duryodhan pick up on his father's emotions or things, and from very childhood, because his samskara was like that. He was like, I'll not go in that detail, but when he was conceived, that desire of Dhritarashtra was so strong. So he has pain, lot of pain. Duryodhan has lot of pain. and Arjuna is in pain, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is in pain. Okay, so that one theme is common. Okay, and what happens is Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, "I am sinful." So he's lamenting. So lamenting is what? Lamenting is a expression of the grief, sorrow, loss we experience, and we feel really bad in our heart, and we lament for it. And when in this case, like when Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, "I am sinful." Okay, so what is happening is anybody identify what is going behind? Like what is the ultimate underlying emotion he's going through?
Sannyasi.
What who?
Sannyasi.
Sannyasi.
Yeah.
Sannyasi is not emotion, but good attempt though. He's going through guilt. Oh, because of me, because like previous sources said, because I want to be king, even though he don't want to be king. That was a well thought of strategy. It's not that he just wake up, get up, okay, let's fight. There was all the attempts from their side to not have this war. Even Krishna went as a peace messenger, everything happened. But the pain of seeing so many people was so strong that he came in guilt. Oh, I am the sinful, I did the sin, and because of me, people are suffering. So many people died. So he's going through guilt, a lot of strong guilt. So guilt is that I did wrong. And when that guilt comes and we don't treat or handle that guilt is a healthy emotion, by the way. Little bit guilt is healthy. But when the guilt gets too much, it brings shame or it brings, okay, I am bad. So guilt is I did bad, shame is I am bad. So it became identity in one sense. So now I mean, at least I can talk about we go through this cycle. People in general go through that cycle. Guilt came and then shame, and people will shame, and then we get into the spiral. Yudhishthira Maharaj break that cycle basically. He was feeling guilt and he was very vulnerable. He was like sharing, very vulnerable sharing. I'm feeling this and I did this and I did this. But focus is on me, not other. While if we go to Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra's focus was, oh, I am unlucky. I was born uh, blind. I could not be king. Or Pandavas, then Duryodhan pick up and on Pandavas were wrong. So the focus different. Yudhishthir Maharaj or Arjuna never ever even mentioned one time Kauravas. Oh, we don't want to fight, or Yudhishthir Maharaj said, I don't want to kill anybody. This Kauravas, they did not listen and they forced us to fight, and then I says to happen. Not even single time he mentioned in this verse, neither Arjuna mentioned. Because focus was me. Okay, no matter what other did, what I did. And that's a very healthy guilt in that one sense. So, as I say, I mean, of course, Dhritarashtra or Duryodhan, they are also in pain. Yudhishthira Maharaj is also in pain. But what happens is when we are lamenting, we have pain, we go to guilt. And guilt is very healthy because we take responsibility in one sense. No matter what other person is done or other party is done, I take responsibility. I was put in this situation. I did this and I feel very bad for what I did. But when lamentation is there and then when the focus spotlights change to other person, that's very deadly. That we go to the spiral. And that is called kind of a victim mindset. Like Dhritarashtra has a victim mindset. Ki, oh, I was unlucky. I was born blind. I cannot be king. Because desire was very strong to be king. Okay. And then avoid responsibility, blaming others, blaming situation, blaming fate, blaming Pandavas. So that it has a phase like fact of victimization. I was born blind, or my father couldn't be king. I deserve to be king because my father Duryodhana was I was a rightful hire, but somehow or other Pandavas are messing up. So feeling of victimization, and then there are facts of victimization. And the most deadly is third stage of victimization is weaponization of victimization, which we see in case of Duryodhan, that he attempted to take revenge or kill Pandavas or do harms to Pandavas so many ways. So that's like spiraling down. Same emotion, lamenting, guilt, and spiraling down. But in case of Yudhishthira Maharaj, guilt, or Arjuna also guilt, and he feel depressed. Yudhishthira Maharaj is broken, totally broken. His heart is totally broken. But the difference is he did not spiral down, because if spotlight they keep on themselves. Not that we are great, but okay, I am feeling, I did, and I'm going through this. And when that happened, they seek help. Both of them, they were open to listen. Arjuna was very vulnerable. He was very present in one sense. So when the spotlight is on my emotion, we have awareness. Like Arjuna, if you remember in first chapter, he was very present with what is happening in his body, his symptoms. He was saying, my Gandhi was slipping my hand, perspiring, my skin is burning. So he was very present to what is happening with him. And that's very healthy. Like when we go through emotion, the even the science says, first 90 second, your when you go through some emotion, your body release some hormones, and your body has a sensation. So when we are not present with that sensation, it gets stored, basically. So Arjuna is going through this. Yudhishthira Maharaj is also vulnerable, is sharing what he is feeling. In that cycle, what they did is this: they feel that okay, they're vulnerable, it's not, it's beyond them, they surrender to Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he listened from Vyasadev, listened from Krishna, and Bhishma Dev couldn't satisfy him. And again, we know the backstories, arrangement by Krishna, why it happened, all that thing. But what he did is he did not give up. Krishna asked him to go to Bhisham Pitama, seek his guidance. He went there, and he listened openly, because his focus was, spotlight was on him, not on other person. Me too. Okay, how I deal with what I am going through. When the spotlight came, he listened, and we know, like even the last to last class, Lal Prabhu mentioned the whole section of Mahabharata was written on that. And Yudhishthira Maharaj's consciousness lifted like anything. It does not mean that pain go away. He was still feeling grief. He was still hurting. He was in so much pain, but he was not frozen. Basically, he was not given up. He was not depressed. That, okay, I'll not do things. He still continued doing his duties without any malice to anybody. So that's the power of stopping at guilt level, or prime. I'll say primary emotion. When primary emotion is like when something happened, what we feel. But when we add our justification, knowledge, everything, then it became second emotion. And that's very hard to do. Like, because we are already justifying, we have a story, we are saying this person did that, that person did that, and we basically go in that loop, and basically spiral goes down and down. Now, when we are facing in our life this situation, what Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling us. One thing is, whenever we have a hurt feeling or any things going with us, at that time we are under the soup of the emotions, whatever is happening. So we possibility is that we may not think straight. So what Arjuna or what Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling? Consult Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Either you approach a guru or learned person, sadhu, or scriptures. Uh, I personally, me, I mean, we can scriptures is we read scriptures. We at that time and try to take shelter, but taking shelter of guru or sadhu is more important. And reason being is we can, I mean, when we are hurt, we can basically take the scripture and justify teaching according to justify myself. There's a one possibility is there. So better guru and sadhu. Of course, reading scripture will purify our consciousness, but direct impact with guru and sadhu, like guru, our siksha guru or diksha guru, whosoever we hold on high esteem, and taking that okay, whatever they say right now, because I am in soup, I will take that, process that before acting anything. Or sadhu, any learned person, uh, taking their guidance. Okay, this is what is happening. This is where I am. What shall I do? And Yudhishthira Maharaj precisely did that. He is going through, he's vulnerable, he's sharing. and he go to Vyasadev, Krishna. Okay, it didn't work out. Went to Bhishma Dev. So that way, when when we are approaching, we are talking to people. It may so happen some person may not resonate at that time. That does not mean to give up and just follow what I am feeling. But okay, who else I can approach? Who can probably resonate to me in this situation? Who can uh, guide me in this situation? That is very important, and that's what precisely uh, Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling us. By example, I mean, he's doing a role play. He is totally covered, totally protected. But for us, he's setting an example, like Arjuna set an example. Okay, what to do when this happens? And whole, if you see, whole Bhagavatam is story of people going through so much hurt, so much emotion, so much pain. I feel in our dealings, our things, our life, everybody goes through pain. But how we address it, how we deal with it, how we get into conflict, make a lot of difference. Either we grow through it, even the even if something happened between two people, group of people, uh, when the respect is not crossed, we see our part rather than, or we change ourselves rather than changing other person. Things grow in a better direction. Example, Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjuna. But when we want others to change, other situation to thing goes spiral down, or we feel other is wrong, they're wronging us. Is no matter what, where we are, it goes spiral down. So that is one thing I had in my thing to cover. Um, share one more thing. Now, Prabhupada also mentioned one thing. The boys, brahmanas, and women should be given protection. And when they are not protected, they are killed as a greatest sin. And we see the same thing parallel in Bhagavad Gita also. And children, because they're innocent, and brahmanas, because they're the head of the society, they from there, if brahmanas are qualified, from there the society has a direction. And women are very innocent, like they have to be treated well. Otherwise, they can be polluted, as Arjuna said in previous also. So it's very the society to go proper. These three, because children are innocent and their future, how we basically inculcate them is important, and emotionally not killing them, and especially physically also not, because there's a future. If children are gone, uh, even if they are destroyed by not having proper environment, like we can see the example of Duryodhan not having proper example, like the father always grimping, I want to be king, I want to be king, I want to be. What happened? The poor guy turned out to be totally different personality, even though a royal person. So similarly, these three personalities need to be protected. If they're not protected, it's a great sin. So I want to pause here for a minute and then see how it's landing to everybody. Then I'll continue. So anything anyone to share or anything resonated with anybody?
Prabhu, if you could go through the steps one more time, how
Uh-huh.
we should deal with it. So,
Okay.
yeah, just for more clarity for me.
Yes. So any situation happen, anything happen, we feel hurt. That's a constant factor in this material world, Dukhale Shashwatam. For one reason, another reason, we feel hurt. Sometime more, sometime less. And then when hurt happen, there's a I mean, I don't want to go too much in the emotion science, but there is a unfulfilled need. But when we get stuck to a strategy, we spiral down. And I'll come to that. But when we feel what we're feeling, the step number one is to stop there, stay with that hurt feeling, and not bring our intelligence in between at that time. Okay, I am feeling sad. Like, for example, I'll give you a simple example. Say, I am talking to you and I say something harsh to you. Okay, so you will feel something. Either you feel shame, you feel fear, or sad. The primary emotion will come. When that comes, number one step is to stay with that. Okay, I'm feeling sad. Okay, so that's primary emotion. When we stay with that, I mean, I don't know how deep I have to go, but we can go through, okay, what I'm feeling, what my need was. Okay, and why I'm feeling sad. Even this person said something to me, why I feel hurt with that. That's that's one thing to explore. Because there's a Bhakti Siddhanta Sarvi Thakur, he gave very nice quote, and it's like a to go for me. And it says, let me read that. Yeah, it says, when fault in others. So I was shouting at me, it's my fault. I didn't act as an adult. When fault in others misguide and delude you, have patience, introspect, and find fault in yourself. Know that others cannot harm you unless you harm yourself. So it was a fault in me that I yelled at you or whatever I did. At that time, my mistake, my fault can misguide you and then say, oh, Kripa Prabhu is like this. He's like horrible person. He said to me, how can he say this to me? So what happened is we put a spotlight on other person other than me. So like Yudhishthira Maharaj, you want to keep spotlight on us, not in an egoistic way. Okay, what is happening to me? Why I feel hurt? And this Bhakti Siddhanta Sarita Thakur says, so when we put a spotlight, it is misguiding us, deluding us. The problem is there. He said this to me. I mean, he can said whatever he said, but why I feel what I feel. Okay. Then into have patience means stay with that. Don't just run and introspect. What is happening to me? What is my need? Why I'm feeling like this? Underlying principle is others cannot hurt you unless we hurt ourselves. So there was some hurt which was simmered down, and my yelling to you was a trigger and bring that hurt out. I remember a couple of class back, I used to give an example of coffee. Like we have a cup full of coffee, and if somebody nudge it to it, coffee will spill. Whose fault is this? Person who uh, hit us, or there was a coffee? Even if that person hit us and there is no coffee, my dress will not get spoiled, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
So the first step is to stay with self. What is happening? Okay. Second step is to find a learned person or guru or sadhu and consult. Again, it depends on how severe the issue is. Okay, this person, this to this, I perceive like this, I felt this, I'm going this action. Please tell me what should I do. Consultation. It's not that we became a puppet and then whatever they say we'll do it. We take instruction, guidance, we internalize it, process it is, and if it resonate, great. We act. It doesn't resonate, we go back again. Yeah, you said this thing, but I'm feeling this. It's not resonating. This is happening. So we go to and fro, and then with their mercy, with their guidance, we will in the right direction. It may take time to come up in the peace with whatever we're feeling, but at least we're in right direction. We are not harming ourselves. We're not harming other people. So awareness, vulnerability, awareness, not bringing our intelligence and justifying or writing a story to it, and then reaching a right person. This is the third one is very, very important. And third will happen when the first and second happens.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. It feels correct when I'm hearing from you the steps,
Yeah.
but the instantaneous reaction to what has
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
I think that's where you're saying the intelligence coming in and taking us in the wrong direction, probably.
Exactly. So when something happens, I'll go a little more. When something happens, it is a primary emotion. Like, and primary emotions are easy to deal with. But when we add our experience, our intelligence, our story writing to it, it becomes secondary emotion, which is very hard to deal with. Because you lost your child in, or sorry, not you, sorry, I'm so sorry. Somebody lost a child in Chicago. That's a primary emotion, what you felt when this thing happened. And when we add our story, our experiences, our traumas, and all that thing, we are trying to find our child now in California. We will never, we will not find it.
Mm.
And we'll get more and more frustrated, more and more angry, and more desperate. And then we lose hope. We go spiral down because we will not find the child in California because that's a secondary emotion. Now we come to, we lost child in Chicago, which was our primary emotion. So when we stay there and not at story, not bring our trauma, not bring our past, and stay with what raw has happened, then we say, okay, this is what. Then we can give benefit out to other person. Like if I yell at you, then you may think, okay, what happened? What happened? Then you can say, okay, maybe he was going through something. Why should I get bothered? But when we add our story, the fault in other person, why he yelled at me and insulted me in the people, or whatever the case may be, we go down and down and down. That help you?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Bhai.
Prabhu, on the third point that you said, very important point.
Yes, Prabhu.
How do we find such person? What is the qualification of such person where we can reach out?
Yeah. So Guru and Sadhu are guided by Shastras. So there are three: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Now the person uh, who are well acquainted in Shastras and who follow the Shastra by their action, those are the person we can follow. Not just some intelligent person and had worldly knowledge, which is also good if nobody is there. But when we have access to a guru who is like a, and again, like I'll go more, the person who are situated in connection with Lord, their directions, their guidance, their internal is directed by Paramatma. And when some instruction which are coming to Shastra and then instructions coming from their heart, they are right person to direct. And those person are in category of Guru and Sadhu because they are to a great degree know what Shastra will recommend in this situation, what other person did in this situation, what is a dharmic way to do in it. And they're well versed. And our Shastra, especially Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is all, you go through any canto, people going through so many things in their life. There are a lot of loss, a lot of pain. And with their example, how they overcome. And because the Guru and Sadhu, they're very learned, we have to find the person who has to be learned in Shastra, not only in worldly knowledge, but in Shastras. They know proven ways how the personality in past has gone through this situation, what path they follow. Yeah, Anukula Sankar Anurtamne is like they follow the path of previous acharyas or previous personalities who have been through this. And since we are not aware, they are aware, or we may be aware, but we are through going through our thing and we are blindsided. They can tell us, okay, this is.
Okay.
So, directly speaking, they're situated deeply in Krishna consciousness, totally connected, and they can guide from that direction. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. And the second part of the same topic, what is
Prabhu,
the
add to that because I know you're asking for my purification. So, anything you can please add.
sure? I think you covered it. Just one thing I can add to that, which by default will come into place if applies whatever you said is 100% followed by that person, then that person is not going to be biased
Yeah.
in giving his opinion or advices.
Yes.
Sometimes what happens is that we try to give advices based on the person,
Yes.
lose out the actual essence of what we are trying to give. Because
Yes.
I know that Kripamaya Prabhu may not like if I give this particular advice. So I help hold back to the true advice. But
Yes.
when I give a advice which is a covered advice, which is not really an advice that I want to give to you,
Yeah.
I do it very well. But if I give the true advice, you may not like me.
Yes.
So that there should be a courage for the person who's giving advice or suggestion or being a mentor to have that courage, irrespective of things, and
Yeah.
do the right thing. So that is very important for the person, um,
Yes.
right? I think
Yeah. He should be expert. Yes. Totally agree. And a couple of examples come to mind in this case. Like there's two things. One is I should have courage. The person we're taking should be unbiased, pure, and have courage. And second, he should be expert also, give even what to give. Even there are sometimes right things to say, but person is not ready to take it. So rather not say that at that time. Give a mellow down version at that time to
Correct.
one step by step bring it up.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
just having knowledge of Shastra is not
Yeah.
going to be good enough.
No.
But how you apply the Shastra in a practical way to help
Yes.
others is very important. Otherwise,
Yes.
you dump the Shastra into someone's head who's coming and asking for help, and they will get bombarded and get more traumatized.
Yes.
During
As Bridge Guru says, operation successful, patient died. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, the second part of my question is first part is about the mentorship and things like the second part is what is the mindset of a person who's approaching for some help? What should
Yeah.
be their mindset?
So their mindset we can see from the example of Arjuna and Yudhishthira Maharaj. The focus is on me. I am going through what is my role in this conflict or whatever has happened. How can I become better? What can I do better? When the mindset is okay, I also acknowledgement okay, I am going through. And as Bhagavad Gita 7:14 says, Devesha gunmai mamaya duratya mameva prapadate mame tarantite, means when I'm going through whatever, any hurt and emotion, that's the Krishna's energy. Okay, emotions come from mind. Is Krishna's energy. So no matter what, I cannot overcome it. I mean, I believe most of us, when we go emotional, there is a great chance that we cannot think straight. Great chance. So not to risk. So the person will think, okay, I'm going through what I'm going through. There is a possibility that I may not be able to think straight, and that's one. Second thing is again see okay, whether the focus is on me or other person or situation. Am I blaming somebody, or I'm just staying with me? Okay, I want to understand what is happening with me and go over it. And then when these two things are there, then we are very honest to ourselves that okay, it's beyond me right now. It may I may err, and then uh, I may error, and then I don't know. I forget second part what I said. Ah, I am going. I'm in going in direction to find problem in other person, fault, blaming other person for my what I'm feeling or where my situation is. Then we can certainly see second, okay, I'm in wrong direction. I have to stop and seek advice. First one is default. Okay, we can safely take it. There is a possibility of me going wrong track. So when we find these two, then approach a person very humbly. Okay, that person, even if he give advice which does not resonate with me right now, I will take it, stay with this rather than outrightly rejecting it, and let's see how it happens goes. Because sometimes it takes time. Uh, the personality who come in mind is Dhruv Maharaj. He was in such a great anger, rage that he could not overcome it. And when Narad Muni came, Narad Muni gave advice, and he was taken, but he says, "I cannot do it." He did not reject the advice that you are saying wrong, but he says, "Right now is not my situation." So he had that dialogue, and ultimately, step by step, he doing. Ultimately, he took executed the best exercise advice with Narad Muni has said. So having faith in that person, self awareness, having faith in a person, and even if you cannot follow that time because whatever you're going through is too much, take it, put in a parking lot, take step by step, and see how it organically unreveal in period of time. That's what I can think of, Prabhu. Anything you want to add?
That's beautiful. I think those are step by step things.
Yeah.
The practic, but when the reality is that when we get into a such situation, is we try to shop around, uh,
Yes.
shop around people who can resonate of what I have in my idea.
Yes.
If you
Partner in crime we're looking. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not in alignment with what my expectations from this conversation, then I'll shop around, go to another person to take an advice
Yes,
that I can
yes,
come to my thing. That's where the problem usually people
yes.
do this.
And generally, in that situation, we can always, so when we reject a right advice and we shop around for the people who will have a similar experience with that person, or who will basically have a sympathy with me, pity for me, is when we are more or less in victim mode, basically that other person did wrong to me and I need support from others to say, yeah, he did wrong or she did wrong to me.
Yeah,
So whoever support, yes, yes, that person is wrong, and say, yeah, yeah, that person is wrong, everybody's putting finger there, great, they are my team, they understood me, they're learned it, they understand. But the person says, okay, whatever, other person may be wrong, absolutely nothing, that other person is not wrong, but why you're going through what you're going through, what is happening to you. When somebody can take us to that direction of taking responsibility of ourselves, that could be a very bitter pill to swallow. And we generally try to avoid it, or this person didn't understand me, or this person is biased. And we just shut that person away or put in parking lot.
yeah.
So that going to towards victim or going towards victor is a, we can easily see where we are swinging towards, and we'll try to find that kind of company with us.
You
And
know, the
we can
emotion.
find fault in anybody in that sense, in that case.
I mean, it's important that we sit on our emotions at
Yes.
when we are hurt, when we are having something that's going through in our life. We sit on our emotions, but eventually we have to be come out of the emotions to think. Little.
So so my understanding or my learning pro is this, like, it's not the coming out of emotion. When we are in touch with the core or primary emotion and we process them, then they lose their power. Then I may still feel hurt, but it'll not drive me. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj lost so many people, his child. So that grief, that hurt will not go away ever in life. But that, because he processed that emotion, the grief, integrated it, it'll not drive his life. He'll not be stuck, he'll not be depressed, and not, he'll be better king. No, I'll not say, I'm sorry. He'll be doing his kingly duties. In fact, because he was vulnerable, he was going through so much guilt, vulnerable, he go to the right authority, he gets so much wisdom to do his service now. If he would not be feeling what he was feeling, and if he would not be open for advice, Bhisham Pitama will not have spoken those sections of Mahabharata, especially in that condition. So he'll not have that wisdom. But because wrong happened or whatever he went through, and he took in right direction, he get more empowered to do service. Not that hurt go away, but hurt take his. It was a mountain. It became small, and it was in his heart. So generally, people suppress or express emotion, not process, which is wrong. So when we process, it loses power, or it teach us and make us move forward. That's what I would say. But if somebody is still stuck in that cycle, they more or less they will in victim mode. They are not looking at themselves, they're looking how wrong other person is. Another person may be wrong. I mean, I'm not justifying that other person did not do wrong. They may be wrong, may not be wrong, whatever the case may be. But the point is, the first point is us. Like, I simply give an example. Say we are in a subdivision and some child is playing, and some car come and hit that child and run away. What we will do first? We will hold that child and try to give the proper attention or medical aid to that child, or we'll run after the car. What will anybody do?
Take care of the child.
Similarly, when we feel hurt, there's a child inside us which is called inner child, get hurt. Now, should I stay with that child, or find, oh, Kirpa Maya did this, he's that, or this. If he would not have that, I would not in this situation. Simple. So if we focus goes to other person at that time or for entire life, uh, we are playing a victim on the hand of the other person. Or it can be fate also. Like Dhritarashtra was saying, "Oh, my fate is so bad. I was born blind." So he's not particularly pointing any person, but fate. So we can pick anybody outside my to give my response to that person and become victim and start getting sympathy or pity from wherever I can get and get more rooted in victimization.
Very true point. Taking accountability, ownership
Yes.
for things
Yes.
happening in our life is very important rather
Yeah.
than putting things on others.
Yes. And when we put things on other, we can never heal
Yeah.
because healing stops. Because now it goes to shame, and shame as again, this is like four processes, four ways we can deal. Like so when this thing happen, we're in victim mode, nothing is happening, we're not able to make sense of things, confusion comes, and emotionally, behaviorally, what we do is we withdraw, we cut from that person or whatever, go in our den basically, or avoid situation or whatever happening to us. We basically, people do drinking, substance abuse, or whatever. Now the technology is there, shopping, all that the people do, or attack self or attack other person. Other person blaming, criticizing, revenging, like what our Duryodhan was doing, or attack self sabotage, criticize self. Yeah, I'm stupid, or I did this, I will never improve, I'm worse of the person. All are wrong. We when we go in this cycle, we are going down only because there is no healing of what I feel. I get stuck in secondary emotion, and my primary what hurt me is gone. Now I'm angry at myself, angry at other. It's totally gone. Arjuna or Yudhishthira Maharaj never even for 1 second bring other party in the picture. Even their mentor or advisor, Krishna, did not even tell to Arjuna, hey, they were disrobing your wife. What are you doing? Fight, come on. Bhagavad Gita was not, if Krishna was, intention was Arjuna to fight, 700 verses was not needed. After 2.7, Krishna would have said, remember, they try to disrobe your wife. What are you doing? Go to there. And he would have triggered him. He would go there. Okay, let's fight. That's it. But even neither so that's why when we approach guru or this, they don't bring other picture in or part in picture. They bring you first, and then secondly they deal with other party, how you can improve.
That is what we don't like.
That's my experiences.
That's what we don't like.
We don't like that. This is
Yeah.
okay, first you fix that person, then come to me.
Yeah.
But if we approach any learned person, they first, it's like a, for when you're hurting, you're like a child who's getting hit by a car, so they treat you first. Treat means they give attention to you and they try to bring you up first, and parallelly or later, need be not need be, they handle other person. But our focus goes is, oh, that car hit me, go chase that car, take that person, hang that person, and then I'll automatically get fixed. My wounds, my fracture will get healed when I see that person hanging on the noose. Then my bones will heal, my blood will stop coming out. That's what we think basically.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. I mean,
Yeah.
please. I mean, I know you're doing it for my purification, you know, all this, but please share
No, I
anything
want to
else.
say one thing and then I'll stop. For many of them who are here in this call who may not know, or some of you may know, Kripamaya Prabhu and Adi Shakti Mataji, for many years, they are very trained and versed in these sort of topics, self-healing, how to help others, and trauma, and all the different. They have learned this thing from many, many people across the nation. So it's nice that he spoke on this verse, giving some deeper meaning of this verse, practical application. So you are the right person to speak. Thank
No
you.
problem. I'm just trying a little bit, learning and struggling. I think so. 8:21. So anybody want to share or any questions? Any comments? Any corrections? Or did I put everybody to sleep?
Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. And I also have the same appreciation as what Lal Prabhu was mentioning.
Oh, Prabhu, yes.
Many times I have personally approached you when I was facing difficulties, and I have gotten great guidance from you and Mataji. So thank you for to both of you for all that you
Thank you
do.
for kindness, Prabhu. I mean, we just, whatever we heard, whatever we were trying, whatever we were struggling, we're just sharing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat. Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Just have
Dandavat.
little clarification, Prabhu. On the one side,
Yeah.
like, is it true if somebody approaches to take an advice or direction, is it also equally important to know the intention as well? What's because you take an example of Duryodhana as well.
Yes.
Duryodhana had been given advices by many, and but his intention was different. He was probably hurt up to some extent, but not. But he was in kind of a revengeful mood, and
Yes.
some kind of desire to become the king by his own self.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
and with that desire, with all, and if the advices be given in wrong direction, he also adopted to poison Pandavas.
Yes.
So whether intention plays an important role to know the intention of the person who is seeking advice or direction or just give the advice to anyone who approaches.
Well, the most important intention is definitely important, but most important is whom we approach. Because, say, I did something wrong and my intention is totally wrong. But if you approach a right person who's like Guru Sadhu, who is well versed in scripture, who's unbiased, who's settled, even if my intention is wrong, he will guide me in right direction. I may not like it, and I may say, okay, see you, bye bye. I'll find other person who give me advice which I want. That's a different thing. But approaching a right person is very important because they will give, they, even if it's a bitter pill, they'll give it. They will not advise in wrong direction. So, and a person who's like guru or sadhu, like who are learned, who well versed in scriptures, well grounded, well connected to Krishna, even our they will check, they will, how we put things, they will know our intention, but they will always, no matter how hard it is, right, guide in the right direction only. On the other side, people who have the vested interest in us, they will guide us in a direction which will be mutually good. Like for example, all the people in Duryodhana side, Karna, Shukuni, they have the vested interest. They guided him in a direction they want. Even when they put a proposal to Dhritarashtra of poisoning anything, Dhritarashtra was doing everything. But Dhritarashtra has his own vested interest. Oh, king, yeah, my son king. Okay, fine. So he gave a okay to it. If he would have been settled person or like in a level of Guru Sadhu level, if he would have gone to Sadhu like Vridhara, totally crushed it at that moment. And that's why Vridhara was vanished, right? Because he was head on, like, no, it's wrong. So when we are in particular mindset going one direction, we will try to have people who will basically fan our desires, and who don't, we just go away. I think I give little more, I would say, around the
That helps.
background.
So that
Yeah.
helps actually. My question was more to like if Duryodhana approaching Vidura and Vidura already knows Duryodhana's intention,
Yeah.
whether Vidura should give any kind of advice to him if or not, kind of thing. But I guess you
Well,
answered that
yeah,
in a
Vidra will
different
give,
way.
and Vidra give the right advice, and that's why he was let go when he has opportunity. Even he don't approach, but Vidra spoke, and then he says he was insulted and banished from the kingdom or from the court, right?
Sure, Prabhu, yeah.
So learned people generally, that's my experience. The people who are in sadhu, real sadhu, and guru, they can get your, like when we go speak, they can get the intention, but they will not fan that intention. They will say what is the right thing, even if he like speak ill of them or discard them, whatever, but they will say the right thing.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
So more important is approaching a right person. This is very important because they will if we are, if we really, like if we approach a guru and really play as a disciple, the guru knows, and he can align us, and when we align, we will on right track. Whatever be our intention, doesn't matter. They will put on right track. Only thing is that we have to follow that track. Or other so-called well-wisher or so-called learned people, they may put in a track which can be detrimental to us and can be reasons that they don't have that strength. They want to be in your good book, or they have some vested interest. Can be like Ravana has so many learned people in his kingdom, right? In his court, giving advice. But apart from division, everybody was feigning his ego because they were scared. If we say something, he'll just chop our head off. They know his personality. Or we will be sacked, we'll not have job. So they were scared. So they were, okay, fine, whatever. You want to this, okay, we'll fan you. Our interest is satisfied, your interest is okay, great. But Vidura, Sadhu, fixed. He gave the right advice, even though he was insulted and let go. Same like what happened to Vidura, same happened to Vibhishana in one sense, because they was right. They was true sadhu. Sadhu does not mean only learned person, because there can be a lot of people who, I mean, there are a lot of people intelligent right now in this world. They're creating amazing softwares, this and that, or AI. I mean, imagine the person, how intelligent that person be who has created AI. I mean, I marvel that person is real intelligent. But not necessarily they're sadhus, because sadhu is by conduct. It's not knowledge, is about behavior, wisdom. And wisdom comes from shastras and connection with the source of shastra, which is Krishna. So when somebody is firmly situated in Shastra, firmly connected with Krishna, we can safely take that person will be sadhu. But if somebody has a very good worldly knowledge, it can be self-made, learn from experiences. We may not take that person, may or may not be sadhu. It's a very risky business at that time, because his experience, everything is in his mind, and he's coming from there. It may err. So why to take risk? And important point to remember is the 714. That's like lifesaver for me. Devesha gunmai mama maya durtya. Mameva parpande mavedante. Means this all material energy is my energy. So even person who is very intelligent, he's also under the influence of modes, no matter what. So what Krishna says, ye mam prapadyentes, who surrender to me can overcome that. So the person who's highly intelligent has to be one of the qualification or what eligibility say, no, in your job says eligible, is that he should be surrendered to Krishna. Then only there's a possibility of that person not come under influence of modes. Otherwise, I may be very intelligent, but if I am not surrendered, there's a possibility that I can come under the influence of modes, and with even with a good intention, I may give the wrong advice, because I was also covered. Not that I have an ill intention like Shukuni or other Ravana's courtyard. I may have very good intention, but since I am not connected, I may also be under influence, because I may have the similar experience that you're going through, and it can bring my things, and I may be not so much impacted that moment, but unconsciously I'm biased. High
Yes, sir.
possibility. So this is important. Sadhu means who's connected to the source also, not only having wisdom and intelligence or worldly knowledge.
Thank you, bro.
That will,
Sure, that helps. Thank
yeah.
you.
It's 8:31. We are 1 minute over. Any last thing anyone to share? Any corrections?
The one point I would add, when
Yes.
you said about how Duryodhana's intention, like how parents they have a desire to become something, and when they cannot become something, then they try to insist that
Yeah.
idea with children, and that happened in Duryodhana's case, also Dhritarashtra Duryodhana,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and as you know, the point here I was trying to say is that thing parenting is so very important. You know, we when during the childhood, what we seed to the children is quite important. You don't want to seed something negative thoughts into
Yeah.
them. Even if we have negative thoughts about others, we don't need to talk about those negative things or
Yeah.
about others when the children are around too. bring them that idea that person A is bad, person B is worst,
Yeah.
person C is good. We don't need to. Good thing is always can be spoken, but the
Yeah.
bad thing we don't shouldn't be as a family. This is not something that we want to bring up our children talking bad about other people. That
Yes.
we have to make them aware. The world
Yes.
experience is important. They have to survive in the world. We have to
Yes.
teach them how to differentiate. All those things are good, but talking, having children about, this Kripamaya Prabhu is how he did to me and what he did to me.
Yeah.
Having talks like this in the children mind is not very good.
Yeah.
Where you're traumatizing the children of what you
Yes.
are into their thing is
Yeah.
not a good parenting. That's
Yeah.
what
Very nice
happened.
one, bro.
That's what
Very
that's
nice.
what Duryodhana went
Yes.
through because of his parents. I am sure the Gandhari and Dhritarashtra would have had some conversation where Duryodhana was around talking about
Yes.
bad about
Yeah.
Pandu and Yudhishthira
Yeah.
and Bhima especially. That would have injected also in his growth.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, bro. Very nice point. I think it's like judgment and discrimination. So when we judge other person tag and we share with childrens, they take that judgment. But discrimination is good, as you said, because they have to survive in this world. So they know what is right behavior, what is wrong behavior. But when it became personal, then it goes in wrong direction.
Yeah, I
If
was.
that person is wrong, if we say Kripamaya is wrong, we are giving a wrong message because we are judging Kripamaya now. But we say what he did was wrong, that particular action, that's discrimination. And that goes in personality development in
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Thank you, brother. That's a nice point.
Because in one time, what happened is many years back in our temple, this without mentioning name, someone was telling, one devotee in a senior position was telling another person, that person is very hard to work with. He is challenging. And this new person got the impression of that person to be so and so. And always any interaction seemed to, oh yeah, he's tough, he's tough, he's tough, stuff. So that
Yeah.
goes into an impression and makes it so very hard to change that impression.
Yeah.
Better let people experience certain things as long as the person is not dangerous person. Let them experience and set that person. Maybe someone may not like Kripamaya. Some people may like Kripamaya, right? So we don't want to put that our ideas to someone else. That's not a very good things to do. I was
Yeah.
reading life history of Hitler. Many
Hmm.
people know Hitler, and his childhood was terrible.
Yeah.
Parenting and how he grew up. It just made him Hitler to the world. Finally,
Yeah.
how he was. His childhood growth was not that very great, which is how he was traumatized and he was going through a lot of things, which he insisted on others.
Yeah.
Right? Thanks. Very nice, Prabhu.
Thank
Thank you.
you, bro. Thank you for bringing that point. Oh, it's 8:35. So thank you very much for your presence. I'm grateful. And please forgive me if I have spoken something or distracted. But thank you so much. Hare Krishna Shila Prabhat ki jai. Vancha kalpatru besha kripa